My purpose in starting this channel is to try and remove the hindrances people have in growing their own food. I've worked hard to overcome not having enough light, not having enough space, and on top of that, half my property's in a floodplain. In the event of adverse conditions, you want to have some food stored up, but a girl's got to have a salad. So in the process of trying to figure out how to grow food, I discovered hydroponics. I have experimented with several different methods, and I wanted to share with you what I've learned and help you get started. I'll break down each method in a separate video. Today, I'll start with the Kraki Method, named after Bernard Kraki from the University of Hawaii, and it is the simplest. This requires no electricity or pumps for water or oxygen circulation. It's used in commercial food production, but home growers have scaled it down for practicality. This is great if you want to grow your own food while RVing around the country, or if you're off-grid and you grow indoors and don't want to use your solar energy on this. The idea is the plant drinks up the water, then it provides the airspace for the roots to get oxygen. To get started, you'll need seeds, a grow medium, something to hold the grow medium, and a container to hold water and nutrients. I've grown many different things using this method, like sweet peppers, zucchini, cabbage, but mostly I grow lettuce. There are several different types of grow mediums. First is the sponge. You get it wet and you put your seeds in the pre-made slit. You're going to want to put a dropper of water on it each day until it roots because it doesn't wick very well, but it is in fact by far the cheapest at 4 cents a piece. This is rock wool. It comes in many sizes, as you can see. It's actually made from spun rock. I have no idea how they do that, but it feels a lot like insulation. You also soak this and put your seeds in the pre-made hole. This comes in at around 7 cents a piece. Peat pellets are potting soil with a small mesh around it to hold it together. You soak it and it swells about 7 times its original size, and these are about 11 cents a piece. Cocoa perlite is a mix of cocoa coir and perlite. When choosing a cup, I picked the one on the left because it has wider splines to hold the material in place better. Perlite is the little white bits that you see in potting soil, and cocoa coir is shredded coconut shells. Together, they hold water and air very well. You will have to buy the two separately and mix it yourself, though, but it is very inexpensive that way. Next, you're going to want to get something to hold your grow medium. These are called net cups. They come in a variety of sizes, so you want to pick one that's appropriate for the size plant that you're growing. They have cubes like the sponge cube that work within the small ones, but you want to try and find something that matches the size net cup a little bit better than this with the black one. So you can get rock wool. It also comes in a variety of sizes, and you want to, that one would work. It's a little bit of a push there, so you can get one that's a better size fit. Now your peat puck will work pretty well, but you want to put something around where the gaps are to block the light. So this size rock wool is exact fit for that net cup, and it comes in these large blocks, and you just cut off the one that you need. It's already pre-made to just trim it there. For a reservoir, you can use almost anything that'll hold water. You want to try and find something that's considered food safe. So look for the little triangle on the bottom of the bucket. And if it has a 5, like this one, or a 2, those are considered food safe. It will also need to keep out the light, otherwise algae will grow. That will absorb the nutrients that your plant needs. So you want to cover it like this glass jar with foil or some sort of paint. The size container will depend on what you're trying to grow. 1 head of lettuce will take roughly 1.5 gallons of water to grow to maturity. If it's bigger than the plant needs, it's not going to drink down the water fast enough to provide the gap for the air roots. I save everything, like this cement bucket, and it's big enough to grow a head of lettuce. This one in the middle is from a local bakery. They just throw them away, but it's big enough for a tomato plant. And then this blue tub is large enough for about 6 heads of lettuce. You'll need to have a lid that will support the weight of your plants as they grow. If your bucket or container doesn't have one, you can repurpose lots of different things. You'll just need to find something that doesn't grow mold, like a wood product would. You can use those coroplast signs they use for political campaigns. Everyone will thank you for removing those, right? Just wait for the election to be over. So I want to show you how to cut the holes in the materials. You can cut it in anything, and in these hard plastics, I like to use a hole saw. You can use a razor blade, case cutter, or a paddle bit, and they work in the softer materials, but I have a hole cutter that I use for woodworking projects, and it seems to work really well. It goes just inside the lip of the net cup, same size, so that your net cup will have a resting place. You can get these adjustable hole saws, and then it'll adjust down to any size net cup that you select. So you draw around where you're going to want your hole on the lid. And a trick for these things is run your drill hole in reverse. It makes a smoother cut that way. It doesn't jerk and gouge. That's what I'm trying to say. And it doesn't take very long. It's a pretty thick material, not dense, but thick. And there you go. You have a nice, clean hole for your project. For nutrients, I like to use General Hydroponics. It's a pre-mixed powdered formula that's easy to work with. It comes with a little scoop, and it tells you on the back of the package just exactly how much you put in per gallon of water. I like to use warm water because it'll dissolve the nutrients. And you stir it up and then add it to your reservoir. You want to fill your reservoir with your nutrient water. Just top it off until you see the water come over the bottom of the net cup, just like that right there. Now you can see some light is able to get in past this peat pot, so you want to put something to block that. In this case, I'm using clay pebbles. You put those around in order to block the light, and then leave it alone and watch things grow. Enjoy.